Welcome to the Cunningham Piano Show, where we explore life between the keys. I'm your host, Hugh Sung, and in this episode, I have a very special guest. She has traveled all the way from the other side of the world. Please welcome Hailey Eunsol Cho. Hailey, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So wonderful to have you. Now, I understand it was interesting. Before we got started, I was going to simply introduce you as Eunsol Cho, but you just told me that you have a brand new American name. Tell me how you came across the name Hailey.
My Korean name is Eunsol, but I made new English name because Eun is a little bit hard to pronounce here. So, yeah.
And Hailey is a beautiful name. This is a brand new name. This is just a few weeks old, right? And what made you think of Hailey?
Nothing, just yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, Hailey, or Eunsol. I actually like pronouncing your name, Eunsol, but we'll call you both Hailey Eunsol. So thank you again so much for traveling all this way to be on the show. So Hailey, how old are you now?
I'm 15 years old.
And how long have you been playing the piano?
I started to play the piano when I was 7 as a hobby.
Just for fun?
Yes.
So I understand now you're here in this country. You've been here for the summer, and you've participated in a wonderful program at the Curtis Institute of Music, the Curtis Summerfest. So it sounds like you're much more serious about your piano pursuits. Tell me, when did you decide to take the piano more seriously?
So when I was 12, I had to decide to go to the art middle school or not, because I loved piano and I loved music. And because that school was middle school, I had only one chance to take an entrance exam. So I just applied. But I didn't think that I could accept it because there were so many applicants. But fortunately, I did. So yes, from then on, I studied music intensely.
Now, I've neglected to mention that you come all the way from the other side of the world. You're from...
South Korea.
Seoul, the capital city of South Korea. And so this is your first time coming to the United States, isn't it?
Yes.
How exciting. And thank you so much for taking the time to visit us during your first American trip.
My pleasure.
So you've been obviously studying music in Seoul, in Korea, but you are working with a wonderful teacher. She's also a friend of mine, Lynn Czae. Tell me a little bit about your experience working with Ms. Czae. What do you enjoy most about your piano studies with her?
First of all, I think that classical music is Western culture, and I'm studying music in Korea.
Yeah.
But when I study with her, I feel like I'm studying abroad.
What do you mean by that? That you feel like you're studying abroad with her?
Like I can study very widely, and yeah.
I think that comes from the fact that Lynn actually, she travels around the world on a regular basis. Not only is she a phenomenal musician herself, but she has really an international perspective, doesn't she? So she really, it sounds like she really brings that to her lessons when she's teaching you. That's wonderful. So, Hailey, you're going to be performing on a wonderful piano. This is the Bösendorfer 214 Vienna Concert VC Grand Piano. This is a 7-foot grand piano. This is your first time playing on a Bösendorfer, isn't it?
I think so.
So tell me what you think about this piano.
I think this piano sounds fits well with my piece, and the sound is really soft but clear. It sounds really beautiful.
So tell us, what are you going to play for us?
I will play Jeux by Ravel.
This piano actually is perfect for a piece like that. Tell us a little bit, for the folks who don't know anything about Maurice Ravel, about Jeux, tell us a little bit what they can expect to hear, and maybe a little bit about Ravel himself.
First of all, Ravel is French composer, and Jeux means a trick of the water in French. And Ravel wrote this piece in honor of Gabriel Fauré because Fauré was his teacher at the time. And there's a poem titled "The River God Laughing as the Water Trickles Him." And that poem inspired Ravel to write this piece.
So this is a very playful and yet very magical piece. And Ravel is such a master in making the piano make sounds that you wouldn't normally hear on a piano, right? So I can't wait to hear you play on this wonderful piano. Eunsol, that was so beautiful. Or I should say Hailey, shouldn't I, right? Hailey Eunsol, that was such beautiful playing. You got some incredible colors out of the piano, everything, and just a wide range from the most delicate. I could hear the water rippling, but it was also very powerful at times too. How did it feel playing such a difficult piece? Did this piano help at all?
Yeah, this piano helped me a lot.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for a beautiful performance.
Thank you.
So Hailey, tell me a little bit, before we close out, tell us a little bit about what you would like to do. What are some of your piano dreams? What do you hope to do in the future?
Like I said, I think classical music is Western culture, so I really want to study abroad here.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, your English is fantastic. How come your English is so good?
Not yet.
Well, I'm very jealous. I wish my Korean was as good as your English is for you. So keep doing whatever you're doing. It was fantastic. Did you have a good time at the Curtis Summerfest?
Yeah, it was amazing.
So wonderful. Well, again, Hailey, thank you so much for being on this show. It's so wonderful to have you visit us from all the way from South Korea and to share your wonderful music with us.
My pleasure.
And thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed this, be sure to subscribe so that we can let you know whenever we have new episodes. For the Cunningham Piano Show, I'm Hugh Sung. Thanks again for spending some time with us, and we'll see you next time.